Yeah, I started reading A River Out of Eden. It's another
Could you repeat that?
Dawkins book.
Oh,
River Out of Eden, it's called.
River Out of Eden.
Yeah.
Okay.
A Darwinian View of Life. I'm trying to finish all of his books. I think I have a few more left.
Because he had what is it? Not the Selfish Gene.
Yeah, it's Selfish
The
Gene.
Selfish Gene. Yeah.
Blind Watchmaker, God Delusion.
Mm-hmm.
I've read those already. I've read most of his books. I only have a few more short ones left.
Does his wife come in?
Yeah, dude, she is great, man. She's so proper. She's such a proper English woman. You know what I mean? It's just like, hello, my name's Lala Ward. That's what she just goes, dude. I forget what book. I remember we talked about this before. I forget what. I think it was The Selfish Gene when they were reading a letter
from like a hater, right?
Yeah, and she was like, "You fucking bastard." It's just the way she was saying. Like, I was just. Yeah. I was sitting there cooking one night, listening to it, and I just started losing it, dude.
Because it's an audio book, but she's narrating. It's actually her, right?
So they go back and forth.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. But for this letter, it was her.
It was her reading the letter, yeah. Yeah.
And that's just like David Attenborough cursing. That's just kind of, it's just out of like, what? Yeah.
Exactly. So it's just really funny. But yeah,
what's going on in this book?
It's mostly a very short book. It's I would say it's the God Delusion distilled, or sorry, not the God Delusion. The Greatest Show on Earth and the Selfish Gene kind of distilled. It's for people who don't have a lot of time, but it's basically like just talking about Darwinism, a quick primer on the evolutionary theory, how genes are being selected, how DNA is being passed down, and that. But what I think was really beautiful is that he equates species to rivers. And in those rivers is DNA, and it's flowing, and it's always flowing. And then you have speciation events where a river forks. And those rivers eventually become so far away that they can't cross over ever again. And then you have two separate rivers, right? If you follow those rivers back farther enough in time, you have one origin, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, it's a pretty good metaphor. I like it.
I guess where the metaphor breaks is if it reaches one another.
So,
like if I fuck a horse, it's not going to make a horseman.
It won't, right? But two rivers could eventually come back together. That's what you're saying. What he's saying is these rivers diverge to a point where they can never cross over again. Yeah.
I guess if they're close enough, they might be able to.
Yes, right. And that's true. And you know, speciation events, when speciation first occurs, usually the two species can interbreed. But it depends on your definition of species, right? So I'm a purist when it comes to the definition of species. A species is something that can't interbreed with anything else. So like lions and tigers technically are still the same species in my book because
they can make a liger, right?
Yeah. Now if the liger is not viable, then I'm okay with calling them species. But if the liger can mate with another liger or either a tiger or a lion, then technically in my book they're not.
Can they?
I don't know actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because if they can. It's almost like calling like different dogs that a Shiba Inu is not the same as a terrier or whatever, right? But they're the same canine.
Well, yeah. So any dog can mate with any other dog. So
so they're the same species, right?
They're the same species.
But it's almost like that: a tiger and a lion.
Right. It's almost like a lion and a tiger are morphs. They're like just different color variants of the same species. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's weird that like the phenotypic different variants in dogs, right? I mean, it's the same with humans, of course.
Yeah.
And you could imagine that with cats. Can a house cat mate with? I'm pretty sure maybe.
I don't think so. I think maybe they can mate with like a bobcat or a lynx, something that's a little bit more.
But there's probably like some gradient, right?
There's a gradient.
Like if you go up the river a little closer or whatever's closer up the river, right? Yeah. Ligers are weird. I've seen like pictures of ligers. They look like lighter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kind of this weird pattern. They look really cool.
They do look cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Dawkins is really good at metaphors, man. I noticed that he does a very good job with them. He's also an extremely good narrator. Like I hear his voice and I'm immediately like, it's like very comforting.
Richard Dawkins.
I'm Richard Dawkins. And it's just very like, you know.
Yeah.
It's very good. And then his wife's very good too. So they're both great. And it's just his ex-wife actually. But yeah, I'm trying to think of anything that was really interesting coming out of that book, but it was talking about mitochondrial Eve a little bit. Some things I didn't know. So mitochondrial Eve is the closest. So a lot of people don't realize. So mitochondria, you probably heard the buzzword mitochondria. The mitochondria is only passed down by your mother. So the lineage that goes back to mitochondrial Eve is the female lineage only. So that's the most recent mitochondrial ancestor we have, the mitochondrial Eve. But there's a Y chromosome Adam. If you go back to a male individual that all current Y chromosomes come from, that's the Y chromosome Adam. Because Y chromosomes only come down the male line.
So there's therefore the Adam and Eve.
Yes, but they're Adam and Eve in respect to this, just those two different things, the mitochondria and Y chromosome, right? So there's but those things are different than the most recent common ancestor. It could be the same individual, but it's not guaranteed that it is. So it's like people throw out these names, and even I have in my thought. Oh, mitochondrial Eve probably is the most recent common ancestor, and that's not necessarily true. It's just the most recent common ancestor for the mitochondrial DNA. So it's
is there what it's called the River of Eden? So
River out of Eden, yeah.
Out of Eden. So I'm assuming they're referencing that idea of like the Adam with the Y chromosome, Eve with the mitochondria.
Yeah.
Is there some kind of the chicken or egg argument of like, I feel like there's no chicken or egg in this, right? It's mutations that just kind of slowly just emerged, or is it just like this point mutation that boom, like there's Adam, boom, there's Eve.
Well, it depends how you define it, right? So all the Y chromosome Adam is that just think of it this way: that male is the father of all males that exist today. Right. So the Y chromosomes can all be traced back to that guy's Y chromosome.
Not a human, but it could be like
it's a human.
First.
It's a human. Yeah, it's a Homo sapiens. Yeah. So less than 200,000 years ago. At one point, there was only a couple Homo sapiens, right?
Yeah, but the idea of the biology already had a Y chromosome.
Yes.
Right, and so he inherited it from
other species.
From prehumans.
From prehumans, right.
Yeah. And so monkeys have Y chromosomes, I'm assuming, of some kind, right?
Yeah.
If you go down that
you
lineage,
can keep going.
Yeah.
And there's a monkey that is the Y chromosome Adam of everything past that point.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. This is the Homo sapiens Y chromosome Adam. Yeah.
Right. But the way that evolution works, not just a one, there's because it emerged out of prehumans, right?
Yeah, I want to make sure I'm doing this right because I could be making a mistake. Just remember, because when the speciation event happens, there's another branch that keeps on going.
But it's not a speciation of the Y chromosome. It's a continuation of the Y chromosome from other species.
Yes.
Right? So it's not unique to... It's not like this... From this one human comes all Y chromosomes of all humans. It's this... Because the speciation from Homo sapiens to the prehumans is not the Y chromosome. It's just this different full DNA thing.
It's a whole new river.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that river has a Y chromosome too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's not the Y that forked it and then.
No, it's not. No. The development of a Y chromosome did not fork it. No.
Right.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I see what you're saying. So sex determination in mammals is, I think, that's a great question. I think almost everything's XY in mammals. Now, birds are the opposite. Birds, the females are the XY.
Well, what?
So what makes a female mammal is that they have two X chromosomes.
Okay.
Right? You and I have an X and a Y. We only have one X and one Y.
Right.
So which is really shitty because if we had anything wrong with our X chromosomes, we're fucked because we have no backup copy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's so males in mammals are called hemizygous, which means they have one of each sex chromosome.
Mm-hmm.
That's the hemizygous sex in humans and most mammals is the male.
Mm-hmm.
In birds, it's the female.
I see.
So the female they don't call it XY, they call it ZW. But the female has ZW and the male is WW. I think it's WW. Yeah.
I see.
So it's just the opposite. It's completely the opposite. Yeah, which is interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting because what is it about the hemizygous that is beneficial for, the sperm production or whatever? I don't think if it's even involved in sperm production. If that's
it is actually. So the Y chromosome has very little information on it. It's a very small chromosome.
Really? But yeah, balls.
But it's all male-related information
On the
Y.
On the Y.
Yeah.
Right, but for the male bird, which is homozygous.
The other way around. Yeah.
So they have two copies of having balls. They don't have balls, but
I would assume it would come if it was anything similar to ours, and we can check this. The W chromosome, the one that they're homozygous for, or whatever you want to call it, it probably has a lot of detailed, important information for the species, and also male stuff on it.
But it
probably has a lot of important shit too, like for like life to work. Because the X chromosome for us, it's very little of it has anything female related. It's mostly like important genes,
like immune shit,
all
too,
kinds
right?
of shit. Yeah. So I'm assuming it's the same. It's the opposite there. Whereas
it's just interesting that it's the opposite, right?
Yeah.
Because like egg production seems like it's a module that you would have to attach, and so I understand like the birds having hemizygous properties because it's like another like module you have to attach onto the genome to fucking make an egg. You know how fucking weird an egg is?
Yeah, it's weird.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Like I need extra information how to make that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Whereas a dumb male bird just goes, "Ugh."
Yeah.
But why are humans and mammals or hemizygous when I feel like males are way simpler than a female?
I mean, the fact that the Y chromosome is so small kind of like agrees with. There's not a lot of
true.
information on the Y chromosome. It's a very tiny chromosome.
But it's enough to differentiate not having a vagina.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yep.
It just turns off. It probably just turns off shit. Hey, no.
Probably does.
Just
yeah.
Fucking don't make the clitoris really big.
Because if you, as far as I know, I'm pretty sure I'm right about this. If you have a genetic disease where there is no Y, oh yeah, actually I know a person. There's a person who has this problem. Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis is technically a male.
She has like XY.
So her Y is just destroyed. It doesn't work. So it reverts back. So female is the default setting for humans.
I see.
Right? She only has one X chromosome, like you and I, but her Y just doesn't work.
I see.
It doesn't confer maledom for her.
It's just dysfunctional. Yeah.
So now she can't have her own biological children because she can't perform meiosis because she only has one X and a destroyed Y.
Right.
But I think she has adopted. Yeah, but she can't actually have children of her own. See. Unless there's some weird way they can add another X.
Effectively one X.
Yeah, she has one X. So the default for humans and most mammals is male. Now female. Now the interesting thing is, I don't know enough about the chromosomal structure of the ZW system in birds, but I wonder if male is default in birds.
Oh, interesting, right? But so the interesting thing about birds, cloaca, they only have this one fucking.
They have one opening, yeah.
Yeah, Louis C.K. joke. That's one dirty fucking hole.
That is a dirty fucking hole, dude. Yeah, yeah.